Day 690. And well, it's 1:36 and it's New Year's, which I feel like I should be excited about, but I think the night didn't end well. It's just bothering me more and more that I think about it. So I guess I'm just gonna do a short video. Hi, puppy. Say hi. Can you say hi? And then just call it a night, and then hopefully work some stuff out tomorrow. The day started with early run, 7 o'clock, long run. It was one of those days where you get up and you just really consider sleeping in. And so I got up, hit the snooze button, and I was kind of thinking, if I feel like this in 10 minutes, maybe I should consider running later. And I'm a little bit tired. And then I thought, no, Jennifer wants to do like a group, make sure she gets to the group event and like have food with people today and kind of do a New Year's thing. And so we should just go, that way we don't miss everyone coming back in, right? So if we start even 20-30 minutes later, puppy, you okay? You okay? If we start a little bit later, then that just means we're going to miss everyone and time's going to be off. So I said, let's just get up and get going. So I walked the pup, came back, used the restroom. We got over there. There was only about 12 of us, so we almost thought they left. And then I guess one or two people started earlier. And the 12 of us that were there, we did a run. I think Jennifer ran 6. I ran 12, and I ended up running with a group of about 4 guys. Oh no, there's about 5. There's 5. Eric, Alex, Alan, Josh, and myself. And there was another guy, and I guess he was feeling sick. So he had kind of dropped off in the beginning, caught back up, and then slowly faded off, and then I think he just turned around early. But it was a little bit muddy, so we got to points where we had to go down to the one track instead of just going across the canal. But it was getting that bad, and so no one wanted to run with that much mud, so we all just filed in the line and followed one another. And after about a mile and a half, it cleared up, which was nice. Then maybe it was about almost 2 miles it cleared up. But then I was thinking I ate too much yesterday. I had the big meal at work for lunch. Then they had the Cafe Rio at night, and I told myself only eat half the burrito, save the rest, eat it for leftovers the next day or whenever. And I just kept eating, like, oh, just another bite. And I was like, you know what? It's only 5 or 6 more bites left, so I'll just finish it off. Gamora. Hey. Calm down. Stop licking everything. And so I just ended up finishing it, and then just tried to drink some water. And drank plenty of water, but just my stomach felt heavy, and I felt that right after mile 1, I felt my stomach just start feeling, I don't know, bloated, or just feeling like I had to go to the bathroom again, which I went right before I left the run. And I was like, oh geez, it's gonna hurt me, so keep an eye out for any kind of porta potties that we might pass. And so I dropped the pace down just a hair, just to kind of relax more. Ran with Alex, and Alex and I were just chatting a bit. And it got to 5 miles. We'd stopped for a minute, and then Josh and Alan were in front of us, and then Eric was on the other side because it was less muddy. And so, or I think it was back on dirt, and that side kind of cleared up. And then he had turned around. He's like, all right, let's all go turn around together. And then Josh and Alan took off again. Alex and I had stayed back a little bit and just talked about how he had started running a little bit. Was it after high school? He said when he was 19, he kind of ran one of his No, there's another guy. That was Ruben. He said how he started with a 5K and then started going up to 10K and half marathon. He's ran, I think, one marathon now. And he had some golf later today, so he wasn't going to stay for the food. Hey, stop licking everything. Thank you. And so he wasn't going to be able to hang out and have food with everyone today. But yeah, we had a nice little pace going. I think we were about 7:30 average, which is nice. Just needed to get in miles today. It wasn't about the pace. Just honest effort, honest miles. And I can't remember what I ended the week with, but my buddy Fashawn looked it up and he said, "Oh, you ended up running 1,500 miles this year." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, check your Strava." And I checked it. And it was, yeah, like I think it was 1515, somewhere in there was the official number. And then right away I'm just thinking, like, all those days I should have ran and just said, "Oh, it's too late. I'm too tired. I don't want to go. It's too cold." Like, just the little excuses. Not even that I had a broken leg or that it was an emergency. Nothing like that. It was just these little things that I just wasn't thinking about the long game. I thought about the short game and just, what do I want temporarily instead of what do I want at the end of the year? What do I want to focus on in 6 to 9 months? And yeah, just kind of play with my head. So maybe that's a new goal going forward, to stop worrying about the right now. Keep thinking, what's the goal for 6 months down the road? But then, yeah, we ended up having the brunch there, and then I believe just Jennifer, Mike, and another guy, I can't remember the name, had pitched in and got a dozen donuts for the group because it was one smaller group again. And so they were passing around the donuts, and we all got there from the Little O's. And then while we were all waiting for our food, we had one, which was nice. And then we usually wait there till about 9:30, and then everyone slowly leaves. I think 10 was the latest we've gone. And then today we didn't leave till 12. And so I was just like, I'm ready to go sit down. I want to take a shower. I'm just getting cold again. And the clouds had opened up, and then they went away. Or the clouds had opened up, the sun came out, and they closed back up again, so the sun went away. And there was a little breeze starting to pick up, and so I was getting cold again. So I was like, I'm ready to be in. I need to take a warm shower. I'm too cold right now. So came back, took a shower, and then tried to lay down, and just the phone kept going off, and only got in about 40 minutes. But it felt great. Like, the 40 minutes felt fantastic. I just wish it would have been like another 45, 50 minutes for a 90-minute nap, but it didn't happen. But got ready, and then met up with Jennifer and Michelle. We went to downtown, and it was a little new place called the Wilderness, and they had some pretty good food. And Michelle got a drink with a small, I guess, entree appetizer. And then we hung out there for a little bit, and then we went over to the Tap That, and then we're waiting for people, and then not a lot of people showed up, and so Jennifer's like, "We gotta go," so we went. I went to go pick up her daughter, and they had a little thing at her sister's house, and then yeah, just pretty much stayed and watched most of the fireworks there till midnight. And then started hearing gunshots, and there's more gunshots, and so I was panicking. I was like, all right, we should really head out now. I think it's time. And so, yeah, that was the day, and came back. But, the really other cool thing was, while we were waiting at the long part at Little O's, we had kind of moved out of the thing at our main seat because they said, "Oh, there's a big group that's got reserved at 10:30 or 11 o'clock, whichever it was, so we got to move." So we said, "Okay, no problem." There's only a few of us left. And so we go sit on this table, and I get a message from my old college friend back in 2002, 2003. And it's kind of funny because we went to the same high school, but he graduated 4 years before I did. Then went on his mission, came back, and went to college, which is, I can't remember, he took another year off, something like that. But then we went to college together, and I knew his sister, and his sister and I became good friends from, I think we had 1 or 2 classes together. We had, was it English? I think it was English. It was us and one more person, and then who I had kind of known through soccer, and then he kind of knew her through church, and so it's like a weird roundabout way. He's like, "Oh, what's your last name?" He's like, "Livingston." I was like, "Livingston? Like, it's not a common name." I know one other Livingston. He's like, "Oh yeah, well, we're both from Prescott. Maybe you went to school with my sisters. Like, your sisters, what are your sisters' names?" And he said, "Da da da da." I'm like, "I went to school with your sisters." Like, "Yeah, we graduated together." And so it was a really funny story. We like quickly connected, and just we'd always laugh and get along. And he invited me and my other roommate for dinner, and he was also from Prescott Valley. So it was just really cool. And pretty much after college, we lost contact, and then just within the last 3 or 4 days, he contacted me like, "Hey, just got any message? How have you been?" I'm like, "Good. How are you?" And then today, going back to the story, when we're at Little Lowe's, we moved seats, and we just sat down in this other section. He messaged me like, "Hey man, what's going on? What's your number?" And I gave him my number. 2 seconds later, he calls me, and I'm looking at him like, he's calling me already, and like maybe he just butt dialed, hit accidentally, he'll hang up. But he kept ringing. It's like, "Hey, hello, what's going on, L Stone?" That was his name, L Stone. So it's just a habit. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's just a habit to say L Stone again. So he's like, "Hey man, good. How have you been? Haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on?" So we chatted for like 5 minutes, and just he said he's trying to get into running. He asked if I'm still running again. He just saw something on Instagram about it. I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm in this group right now, actually. So, let's go for a run together. And when you feel ready, come join this group. It's a good group of people, and we got all kinds of paces and lots of friendly people that you'll get along with just fine." And I says, "All right, sounds good, man." And then we mentioned a race in June in California, and I was like, "It's not this one by chance, is it?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's actually that rock and roll half." And I'm like, "Well, you know what? There's about 10 people from this group that are going to go do that. So you're going to have to meet them sooner than later, because you're going to run with them, and we can possibly carpool or caravan over there." And so it was just really cool to talk with them. And I'm sure I'll text them later this week, or maybe even run with them this week, just depending on our availability. So that was a huge plus. I mean, it's always great to reconnect with the old friends, especially ones you've accidentally, I want to say, or I was gonna say it's like accidentally, like I had his number and lost it, but you just lose contact with him just because of life happens, right? So it'd be nice to catch up with him again. That was just really great to hear from him. So yeah, trying to take the positive out of that day, and that was part of it. So good to hear from Yellowstone. Talk to you again later, but yeah, gotta work out some other stuff right now, and then we'll come back to that. So run your life with health and happiness, and have a good night.